Hello, friends from Five Reasons. This is Alejandro Villegas back with you guys. Today, we're going to be doing a little summary. We're going to put together all the press conferences from yesterday's loss by the Miami Heat, 121-108 in the fifth game of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to go ahead and show you guys what Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Erik Spoelstra said after the game, after the 121 to 108 lost against the Miami Heat last night. And we're going to start with Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic, who had 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's going to be the first guy up here in the Five Reasons YouTube channel. This is what he said.
Goran, a lot of times we take measure of a team when they go through adversity, and there has not been a lot for this team so far. Obviously, there was adversity in the third quarter. It didn't look so good. What are your thoughts about how this team could rally and pull together going into Sunday?
This game is over. You cannot change nothing. We know that we played poorly in the second half. Our defense was not there. I think so. They scored 40 points in the third quarter, and that was too much. So, we need to do a better job, be more physical, and help each other in defense.
They're known as a very good defensive team on the three-pointer, but you guys the percentages aren't what they've been there for most of the way. Is it something they're taking away? Are you getting the looks you want, or is it just a matter of just missing?
I think so. We're getting good looks. We just didn't make the shots, but that shouldn't affect our defense. Every time when we miss a shot, we need to get back and try to load inside the paint and make it tough on them. I think so. Tonight, Jalen Brown and Tatum, it was too easy for them. And then, when they see that the ball is going in, then everything it's much easier for them. They get the confidence. Then they'll start making threes. And, it was not our best night. So.
Next question, Ted Deportes.
Hi, Goran. When you need to go out by foul, how you feel in this moment at the game?
I don't know. It is what it is. I don't have no complaints about it. The refs called the foul. He saw that. I don't know. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Next question, David Wilson.
Hey, Goran. Bam just was on here and basically kept saying he felt like this game was on him. Did he kind of express the same things to you guys, in the locker room?
No. That's not a ban. No, he should not say that. And we know it's not like that. It's not on nobody. It's on us together as a team. We should do a better job. It's nobody's fault individually. And I don't agree with that statement if Ben said that. Everybody looked terrible in the third quarter. We didn't defend. We didn't do our jobs. And it's a team effort. That's how we got here as a team. And, if we lose as a team.
And then just overall defensively in that third quarter, obviously, like you said, they gave up 40 points. Was there anything you felt like really kind of went wrong for you guys that you can kind of pinpoint?
I mean, they pushed the ball. They got open lanes. They drive the ball. They're making a couple of end ones, layups, and that's how they got their confidence. We are not, shrinking the floor. We're not doing a lot of job, especially even when they miss, they got an offensive rebound, second chance point. So that kind of hurts too.
Next question, Manny Navarro, and that will conclude our session. Go ahead, Manny.
Hey, Goran, you kind of touched on it, I think, with the first question, but, you talked about when you're missing three-point shots, or making three-point shots, it can really swing the confidence. You guys have continued to kind of struggle from the three-point line as the series has gone on. Do you think that affected the defense today for you guys, the fact that the shots weren't going in, you guys weren't coming back and playing defense the way you should?
No, that shouldn't be excuse. I mean, the first half, we are playing awesome. We didn't make shots in the first half. I mean, we had a couple of open threes. We didn't make them. But, for us, the most important thing that we get good quality shots. And if you make them, you make them. If not, we need to get back in defense. So our offense should never, correlate with our defense. Our defense should always travel with us and always be solid.
Okay, that was Goran Dragic, the Dragon, who scored, like I said, 23 points had 4 rebounds and 4 assists in that loss last night against the Boston Celtics. Up next, we're going to go with Duncan Robinson. Duncan had, we were all expecting the Duncan Robinson game. He had it. I mean, he was close to it, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. He was 46% from the field, and sadly for the Miami Heat, that didn't work at the end, and that wasn't enough for the Miami Heat to win this game. So let's listen to what Duncan Robinson had to say after the game.
What's up, Dunk? All right, if you got questions for Duncan, please raise your hand. First question will be Ira Winderman.
Duncan, obviously you got off to the hot start with the threes, but then you and the team cooled off. It's been that way now for at least a couple of games. Is it something they're doing schematically against your team's threes, or are you guys just missing?
Personally, I thought I got good looks. Shots that I feel very comfortable making. Give credit to them though. They did some things in the second half that was a lot more urgency.
And then looking at that third quarter and the way it sort of unraveled for you guys, case of missing shots, a case of the defense not being there. How did the game change so dramatically just in that one period? Thank you.
Just our defense. We got to be able to go through stretches where we're not making shots. They're a good defensive team, so shots aren't always going to fall. So we needed to do a better job defensively, and we didn't do that in the third.
Next question, Brandy True, Peak TV.
Hey, Duncan, tough game tonight. After Game 5 setback, what will be the team's mindset moving forward to allow you guys to secure the W?
We just got to band together, have trust in this group, know that our game is good enough to get this fourth win. So, it's certainly not going to be easy. That's what we talked about. But, we got to band together and do difficult things.
Next question, Andres Lopez.
Thank you, Duncan. What adjustments can you guys make, especially to find your perimeter shooting? We know that last game that played such a key role, both between you and Tyler Hero. You guys seem to tag team on the perimeter shooting. Learning from the adjustments that Boston made in this game, what adjustments can you guys make to find better looks the same way Boston found better looks this game?
Keep trusting each other, making that extra pass, believing in each other and just playing unselfishly. We feel like we got some good looks, really throughout the game, shots that we normally make. Like I said earlier, credit to them. They did some good things defensively, just played with more urgency. But it's really just going to come down to playing unselfish and sharing the ball.
Next question, Manny Navarro.
Hey, Duncan, I apologize if you were asked this already. I jumped in late, but defensively, the third quarter, the 41 points that you guys gave up, what were they doing that was getting them easy baskets?
They were getting out in transition. They were definitely playing with just a greater sense of urgency, and we just kind of went back on our heels. We got to be aggressive in those stretches and just, band together in those tough stretches, trust each other, and just show a little bit more resilience than we did tonight.
Thanks.
Next question is David Wilson.
Hey, Duncan, kind of just a big picture question about the Celtics three-point defense, because they've typically always had one of the best in the league with Stevens. Just what do they do that can make it difficult for you guys that maybe some other teams don't?
They got length, first and foremost. They switch a lot. So they do a pretty good job of guarding the line. And then when you're able to get one, there's very few open looks. So they have a handful of guys that pride themselves on that end. And, tonight they did a good job just scrambling, getting guys off the line and then making the looks not quite as open.
And then defensively, they haven't used Canner like super consistently in this series, but it seems like he makes you guys defend a little bit differently with Bam not switching as much on the pick and roll. Just how does he kind of change the defensive game plan when you guys are in there, when he's in there?
He's a dynamic offensive player, and that he's really tough down in that painted area. So it's got to be a group effort. It's got to be across the board. It's not just Bam. It's everybody. So he came in and provided the spark for sure.
Next question, Tim Reynolds.
They say cliches become cliches because there's a certain amount of truth to them, but is this just another reminder that to close out, first of all, get any playoff win is hard. To close out a team is hard, and especially in this round, it's insanely hard. Is this just a slap in the face reminder that all that is true?
Absolutely. That's really what we talked about is that, as you go on, the wins get harder and harder. And doing what we want to do and advance from this round is going to be the hardest thing we've done all season in our athletic careers for many of us. Fortunately, we have coaches and guys that have been there and know what it takes. But this was certainly a reminder to think that we were just going to have a good first half and just kind of coast to a victory in this stage of the playoffs is we're misguided if we're thinking that.
Okay, that was Duncan Robinson, who scored 20 points last night. That was his best game I don't remember when was the last time that Duncan Robinson scored 20 points or more. So that was a great night for him. Too bad that didn't work for the Miami Heat in the long run. So now we're gonna go with Jimmy Butler. He was the third best scorer last night with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And let's listen to what Jimmy Canastas had to say last night after the game.
Hey Jimmy, what in the first quarter things seemed to be on track. What changed there in the third quarter? What did they do differently? What did you guys do differently?
They started attacking. We stopped guarding. Never a good thing for us. I think all year long we've said that for us it needs to start on the defensive end. I think we did that okay in the first 2 quarters, and then after that it was all downhill.
Ira Winderman.
Jimmy, a lot of times a team really takes measure of itself when it faces adversity in moments like this. How do you see this team? Obviously, in the third quarter, when adversity came, the team had some issues. How do you see it going into Sunday, and how do you see this team's resolve standing?
Well, we'll be back. We got to go over some things. We weren't on the same page a lot of the times. And I just think we just gotta talk whenever we're out there on the floor. That's what it all comes down to. We'll be ready to go on Sunday, come back better, and get ready to get a win.
What do you think it says about someone like Bam, who just said, "This game is on me. I felt I played terrible," and said the loss was his fault?
It's not. It's on everybody. He does so much for us that it could feel like that at times, but it's definitely not on him. It's on us as a whole. We all understand that because nobody was playing the way that we're supposed to play, the way that we have to play in order for us to win. Nobody. And for him to say that, I respect it. I love him for it. But he can't do it by himself. We got to be there with him.
Nick Friedel.
Jimmy, to follow up on that, and Bam, obviously at the end of the game the other night, he hurts his arm. Tonight he struggles a little bit. He tries to take the blame. Do you, as somebody who respects him the way that you do, feel like you need to say something to him to give him a little pick-me-up between now and Game 6?
I will, but I think he knows you can't get stuck on this game now. We learn from it. It's something of the past. But we're going to need him to be who he is on Sunday. We're going to need everybody to be that way. We're going to watch some film. We're going to learn from it. I'm not saying that we already don't know what went wrong, but we'll be ready to go. We will fix it.
Shannon Irish, Heat TV.
Hey, Jimmy, we saw Udonis on TV in one of the timeouts in the fourth quarter be very animated with you guys without telling us exactly what he said. What were some of the things that he was pointing out to you guys that was hopefully helpful a little bit?
That we were just getting outplayed. They were playing harder than we were, which we all knew. We just got to correct that. I think that's where it starts for us. Anytime anybody's playing harder than we are, we're not playing our best basketball. I think a lot of it for us comes from how hard we play, how together we play, and we got to get back to doing that. So at the end of the day, when you sum it all up, that's what he was saying.
Christos Saltas, SDNA Greece.
Hello, Jimmy. First of all, how do you explain the first 6 minutes of the second half, and how important for you is to keep the pace of the first half on Game 6?
We just, I guess, let up off the gas. We weren't communicating. We weren't as aggressive on either ends of the floor, and they were way too comfortable. I'm sure that they said they were going to do whatever changes that they said they were going to do and came out and did it. And we didn't play our best basketball on either ends of the floor. We know that. We get that. We'll be ready to go on Sunday. As far as the first half goes, we were just okay in the first half. We weren't great there either. So, full 48 minutes is what we got to try to put together.
And that was Jimmy Butler, one of the leaders of the Miami Heat. We saw also last night Udonis Haslem in the third quarter really taking that leadership role in that specific moment when the Boston Celtics were coming back and making that run in the second half, and Haslem was there. So very important to see our veteran guy really taking that leadership role in that moment. Okay, so right after we had to listen to Jimmy Butler, now we're going to go with Bam Adebayo, who didn't have his best game. We don't know if he's actually injured or not, or if he's not at an 100% level right now after what happened in Game 4 with his left arm. And let's listen to what he had to say about this and about the game last night. Bam Adebayo, the center of the Miami Heat, on 5 reasons.
Bam, the third quarter tonight, just such a dramatic change. Was it what they did? Was it something you guys didn't do? Sort of which end of the ball do you think impacted it most, and how shocking was it that it turned that dramatically?
I played like shit. Bottom line, I can't. I put that game on me. It's not my teammates' fault. It's not my coach's fault. It's me.
Why?
I can't. I don't know. I missed too many shots I should have made. Put that one on me.
I saw you were wearing the sleeve again. Is it an elbow or an arm, or is there something sort of that's an issue with that arm?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you.
Next question is David Wilson.
Hey, Bam. Defensively in that third quarter, you guys gave up 41, a lot in transition, a lot in the paint. Just was there kind of a singular thing that you think kind of started the poor defense in that half, or is there like a single thing you kind of can pinpoint above all else in that period?
I wasn't being the defensive anchor that I should have been. I don't think I was communicating fast enough. I feel like I was a step behind today.
You guys haven't seen Canner super regularly in this series, but they had him out there, and the two big lineups too with Canner and Tice. Was it just what's kind of the challenge that presents for you? It seems like Canner's a guy you obviously. It doesn't seem like you switch as much off of him. Does that kind of present a different challenge for the defense?
No, not at all. Like I said, I wasn't the defense maker today. I didn't get us some fast enough triggers, and that's on me.
Next question, Brandy True, PTV.
Hey, Bam, collectively as a whole, specifically, what adjustments will be made for the next game?
I got to be better. That's bottom line. That's it. There's no excuses to this. Y'all wonder as a collective unit, this game is on me. I played terrible, and that can't happen. And I know that, and I feel like I let my team out there.
Next question, Tab Deportes.
Hi, Bam, from Puerto Rico. What is your mentality right now when the team will be facing the Seeds game? What is your approach right now to this game?
We got to come out with the same intensity we had in game 4, and that's a big part of me.
Thank you.
Next question, go ahead, Malika.
Some players, when they feel that their loss is on them, they go back in the gym and recreate every shot. Other players go to the film and score that. What's your coping mechanism between now and game 6?
I just look at some film. Definitely get in the gym now, but probably look at some film and just figure out. I just can't do whatever I did this game ever again. Like that's got to go. That's behind me now. I was looking forward, and my mentality has to be, I got to be better for my teammates.
Are you the person who lets things go quickly?
Yeah, but it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Like this ain't easy to let go. But I got 24 hours to get over it, and the next day it's go time.
Last question, Manny Navarro.
Hey, Bam, you guys have obviously had a lot of confidence through these playoffs in yourselves and what you can do. Any of it shaken tonight just by how, I guess how poorly the third quarter went? I guess what was sort of the discussion in the locker room as you guys were leaving?
We wanted that win so bad for each other, man. And that's what's crazy about the playoffs. But we're gonna regroup tomorrow and figure this out.
And that was Bam Adebayo, or Bam MVP, who had 13 points last night, and hopefully he feels better for Game 6, which is going to be on Sunday. He's going to be tomorrow, Sunday night, and we're going to be there, of course, during the pregame show. So this is what is Erik Spoelstra. We're going to finish with Erik Spoelstra and what the Miami Heat coach had to say after losing. Again, the two losses in this series have been a blowout. Has been a very open game for the Celtics, and that's why the Celtics are leading in points, but they're not leading in the series. Miami Heat still up 3-2. So let's listen to what Erik Spoelstra had to say right after the game.
Erik, the way they turned it around in the third quarter, what did they do and what didn't you guys do?
A little bit of everything. I mean, we missed some open shots to start the quarter, and then it was turned into runouts that got them going. Those easy ones. This is a team that has great offensive firepower. When they see the ball go in the basket, then they start to get more aggressive. Putting a ton of pressure on us in the paint. Much like they did in Game 3, and we weren't able to shut that off. And they just carried that through.
You always talk to us how a playoff series is a series. It's not about, necessarily each individual game, one loss or one win. Where your team comes out of this game, is it kind of just shake it off, still in the lead, move to Sunday? Or is it require a very serious look maybe at this one?
Look, we're not getting caught up into all the narratives. Boston played great in that second half. They deserved and earned what they got. We understand how tough it is to win in the playoffs. We did not compete hard enough defensively. And we paid the price for that. But you do have to credit Boston. They played with great force, particularly off the dribble. Over 50 points, I believe, in the paint in the second half. Actually, after the first quarter, I think they only had 6 points in the paint. And it was just a deluge to the rim after that.
Anthony Chang.
Hey, so I know defense was the main issue tonight, but it's the fourth straight game of kind of subpar three-point shooting. Is it something Boston's doing schematically to take away usual looks, or is it you like the looks you're getting, just missing some?
Yeah, I'll have to look at the film. I mean, I'm sure that's a little bit of both. I'm sure we're getting some good looks, open looks. It seemed like at the beginning of the third, we had some open ones that weren't going. They had some that they heavily contested. But regardless of whether it's going in or not, that can't affect your commitment on the other side of the floor, and it felt like it did. We had 56 points at halftime, and sometimes that can be concerning that you think you can win the game offensively. They're too good for that, and we paid the price in the second half.
Tim Reynolds.
This well, I apologize, but you talk all the time about competition, and this is just a reminder that to win any game this time of year, especially a closeout game, it's just going to take more. It just takes.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Just the feel of it, and my recollection of every 50-50 ball was going their direction. But generally, dictates the tenor and momentum of the game.
Tab Deportes, Puerto Rico. Tab Deportes. All right, we'll switch to Andres Lopez, Cultura Sports.
Thank you, Coach. In the NBA bubble, we've seen time and time again how series that are led 3-1 mean absolutely nothing. The Denver Nuggets have come back so many times. How are you keeping your team mentality and your heads up so that this may not happen to you guys and you can close out the series in a satisfactory manner?
Yeah, I don't think those series have anything to do with this. Our guys are well aware. We have great respect for Boston. We're not expecting it to be easy. You have to earn it, and we'll just learn from this. Go to work tomorrow and try to get ready for the next one.
David from La Gazzetta dello Sport, Italy.
Hey, Coach. What have you seen from Goran Dragic tonight?
What do you mean?
I mean, he's been like your best scorer, and then he got fouled out. Anything, especially in the second half, it seems like the only offensive thing going on.
Yeah, they're a good defense. So he was aggressive. He was keeping us alive for a while, but our defense was so poor, and they were so good and so aggressive offensively that we weren't even able to keep it within range long enough.
Nick Friedel.
Spo, we saw Bam wearing that sleeve on his arm. Just curious how you thought he played with that, and if you thought he was favoring it at all throughout the game.
No, he wasn't favoring it. That would no. We're not making any excuses. Boston outplayed us in the second half. We probably outplayed them in the first half, and their outplaying of us in the second half was 2 or 3 times what we did in the first half. 48 minutes. That's a long game, and you have to play consistently a lot longer than we did tonight.
West Lammy.
Hey, Spo. Obviously, in that third quarter, we know how they outscored you, but Jason specifically, what do you see, obviously, from your vantage point where he was able to build his confidence in that third period?
Who?
Jason Tatum.
Well, he's a great scorer. So if he's able to get into open space and see some easy ones go down, they just had a great rhythm at the beginning with those transition opportunities. They're a dangerous team to give relief buckets like that. They see the ball go in, and then they start to get on a roll. I mean, before we could even do anything, 2 timeouts into the third, I think it was a 20-5 run.
And that was Erik Spoelstra, the Miami Heat coach, who was 1 win away from going back to the finals and hopefully meeting the Lakers and LeBron James there, who are probably going to win tonight and get to those finals. But let's not count everything before it happens, because we know what the Denver Nuggets have done so far. We know the Celtics are only 2 wins away also for making the finals. So let's wait and see what happens. And we'll be here in 5 Reasons to be with you guys through all this process. And thank you for being here with us. Thank you for following our the coverage that we have been doing during the postseason. It's also nice to be joined by you guys in the live tweeting party during the games, right after the pregame. So do that next time you're here with us in the pregame. Stay with us, because we're sharing during the game, and that's also very important for us, very fun, and we are enjoying every bit of it. So thank you. Remember to subscribe here, and we'll be back with more Miami Heat content.